It's a tough time in the world, and I mean the world, with this big beast called coronavirus. Very small, very tiny, but it's a big beast. And everybody is terrified by this big, small beast. And it makes me unsettled. I don't want to say angry, but it makes me sort of angry. And you would wonder, why am I angry? Here's the thing. I am a person who generally loves interacting with people through touching, hugging. When I see you, I want to feel you, I need to touch you. Through handshakes, through hugging. I'm not a person who talks from a distance. But this beast has changed everything. You get to work, the normal things that you are used to doing, like saying hello through hugging and shaking hands, you're not doing anymore. Everybody is very protective of their own spaces. And I realized that in my own working space and my own productivity, it has had a small or slight dent, which made me think, am I the only one who's experiencing this? I saw this video of these Chinese guys who are now using their feet to shake hands. Well, they were shaking hands, feet, whatever it is. And I got to think, is this a problem that everyone is facing? People, more especially people like me. And I know that this is a common thing in the African culture because we are used to socializing with each other through talking, through hugging, touching each other. Without touching is not enough. So I came to think, what are the psychological impacts that this virus and this whole situation is having on individuals, people? And how is it affecting people's identity, the way people are used to doing things? And I still have a question, it's not answered. Then I realized, in order to get this figured out, I need to get experts, because I'm not an expert. I love psychology, but I'm not a psychologist. Then I decided, let me go and get someone. I have a friend who's a psychologist, a clinical psychologist, and is qualified. He knows what he's doing. He has his own practice, a professional practice. He's been working in the field for many years. And I said, let me get this guy to help me dissect this issue of coronavirus and how it's affecting people in general. And the best person I thought of was this friend of mine, Themba Trust Manzini.
We do there.
Oh, you see now. Now we have to shake.
Yes.
That's the problem that I'm telling you guys. We can't talk like normal people anymore.
No, we can't be taking chances now.
And it's funny, but it's not funny. I mean, I just wonder, in your view, before I get to your view,
yes.
Welcome to the show. And
Thanks
thank you for
much.
doing this interview. And can you just give us a little brief of who you are and what you are about?
No, thanks very much. Finally, I'm on TMP. I've been watching the videos in admiration, and now I'm here. And I'm Themba Trust Manzini, a clinical psychologist from Themba Psychological Services, which is my own practice that I run, and it sponsors a talk show which is on a YouTube channel called Akani Talks. Yes,
let me break you. Those are the great news that you're going to know of towards the end of the video.
Oh, okay.
Let's not break
I jumped the gun.
Yeah, let's just leave the bubble hanging there and make it bigger and bigger. We've got exciting news about this man because I told you he's a big man. He's not a small man. 2 weeks ago, he was interviewed at
Newsroom Africa.
Newsroom Africa. He was there. Hopefully we can get some pictures or some clips posted somewhere here. He was interviewed on a very important and very sensitive topic of suicide amongst teenagers because it's a big thing. But right now there's another big thing, which is coronavirus, and that's why I got you to the show. So, Trust, please tell us, from a psychological standpoint and from a professional standpoint, how is this disease, coronavirus, affecting people in general?
So psychologically, there's a lot of impact that is happening, that is going on, because there's a major change in behavior. So you just mentioned now the handshakes, the greeting, the hugs, they're all gone. So can you imagine now you are in a relationship, you're trying to express, how are you going to show intimacy? So those type of things. If you are insecure, you'll think now the person is cheating. So there's a lot of emotions that are going on because of this outbreak. People might feel rejected. So imagine from those people now who are saying they are going to be placed in Limpopo, and then the community say they don't want them, and now they feel rejected. No one wants to be close to them. So that is rejection, alienation, or being isolated. And those are strong emotional things that are happening, and we do not want as human beings. So now people will be depressed, they'll be stressed, and now everyone is anxious. So people now, they're afraid. That's why even I didn't take a chance to shake your hand. So the anxiety levels are going high. Then we're going to see more people being depressed, especially those who have the illness. But those who don't, they become more anxious, and it's a challenge. And
it's even a big problem, because every day we hear new news
Yes.
on the new discovered infections from new people.
Yes.
So it started from one person.
And
In a day, it was 3 people. After 2 days, 7 people. Before you know it, 15.
yeah, it's
Before you
like
know
a
it, I hear
ripple
now
effect.
It's about 20-something people in South Africa.
Yes.
So I can just imagine what goes on in our minds. So it's that kind of thing of, am I next?
Yes, the fear, which goes hand in hand with the anxiety. So it becomes difficult. People will start to panic, and people will start to change in terms of their behavior. So now people might think that I'm being hated, but it's actually not that. Someone takes precautions. They don't want to get infected. So this major change in behavior is very much concerning. We need people who are going to be able to adapt or adjust effectively, people who have a high sense of emotional intelligence. And this is something you covered a few weeks back or earlier on this year. So we need people who are going to be aware of their emotions and others' emotions. Then that will try to be a mitigating factor that the intensity of the anxiety or the depression does not become worse. So what is frightening, others, they can even become psychotic. They can start seeing things that are seen by them. They start hallucinations because of the growing fear of being infected. So there's really a lot that is happening, that is actually happening. So we have this challenge with people are focusing only on the illness, and we tend to undermine the psychological impact. And this is going to be very tough. So imagine if your own sister, you have a family trip, then you leave your sister alone. What is going to happen? Then most people are going to start to want to kill themselves. Suicide rates might also go up.
Sure. And I realized this when a week ago my mother was here in Gauteng.
Yes.
And she was coughing. She started coughing.
Yes.
And my sister was like, Mama, no. Please, we need to take you to the hospital tomorrow for some checkups. And she was like, no, why?
Yes, she's defensive.
So she became defensive. And she was like, no, why are you treating me differently now?
Yes.
And it's those psychological things.
And because the interpretation from the mother is that, so now my children doesn't want me anymore. Now the child that I carried for 9 months is turning her back.
Me.
Yes. So that on an emotional level, it's concerning. Even if it was just a joke, but now it's going to be difficult to discern whether to what extent was it a joke or not.
Because this thing is happening.
And no one wants to die because it's killing people.
And now I just think the productivity level maybe in the workplace, at school, because of the fear and the anxiety that comes into our minds, it might have a huge impact into the way we produce. And already the companies are not doing well.
Yes, yeah, most people are affected, and in other countries they're starting to ban public gatherings, concerts, shows. Some schools or even universities are being closed. And now we wonder who's going to be researching for the cure for this if you close the universities. So yeah, the productivity will also go down, most likely the economy, and it seems if there's no treatment or any cure or vaccine immediately, it's almost like the world is going to come to a standstill, and emotionally people will be deranged. It's going to be difficult. And those who are emotionally weak, some will actually suffer a lot.
Wow.
And afterwards, even if there's a cure, but the trauma that will have been suffered, seeing someone maybe you love die because of this illness, the fear that you had, and we still have flu, which we usually have, and now even afterwards, when you start to have flu, it's going to trigger the traumatic events. So it's actually quite a hectic outbreak, but we also need to look to take care of ourselves emotionally as well. So I think now people, they have to start to understand and raise their awareness that if people don't want to touch me, don't want to come close to me, it's not because they hate me, it's not because I didn't bath well. You just need to understand it's a precaution of safety. It's actually for the other person and also for you and everyone else. So that is the approach we need to start to take in terms of taking care of our emotional well-being, so that we also adapt and adjust.
So what I get from you is that as an adaptation strategy on a personal level, you just need to understand that right now the most important thing is a personal safety thing.
Yes.
I am safe and I want you to be safe. I don't know whether I have the disease, but in order to protect myself, I must just keep a distance and to just make sure that I'm protected in all possible ways.
Yes.
And I'll also protect you. In protecting me, I'm also protecting you, because I could be having the virus.
It's like Ubuntu.
Yeah, ne? No, it's very interesting. So the awareness is what's needed right now.
Yes, the understanding, the acceptance, and the awareness, especially the emotional awareness, is very much more important. So if you are one of those victims who are suffering from coronavirus, when they take you into a secluded area, do not try and put so much negative emotions to
Do
it.
not fight it.
Yes, do not feel the rejection, because you understand very well that if it was someone infected, you wouldn't expect them to be closer to you as well. Yes, so those are the dimensions or dynamics that we have, is the person who's infected and all of us who might be affected, and the fear that we have.
Yeah, no, it's very difficult, guys, difficult times, but I guess on your end of things, it's an opportunity as a psychologist. Because
we sit and talk, so we're used to doing therapy sitting like this. Now I don't know, we're going to shout. People might not want to shout their problems because of the distance.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. No, but otherwise, let's talk about you, because I mean we cannot run away from the fact that you are a psychologist.
Yes,
and you're
yes.
a professional, and you can help a lot of people who experience trauma and all types of depression, anxiety, and all those kind of things. Let's talk about, how do people get hold of you? How do people get to you in case of emergency, in case of these situations? It happens, and even if it's not coronavirus, but other psychological problems that people are having, stress, anxiety, depression.
And some relationships have coronavirus.
Yes, so how can people get hold of you?
The couples are not talking, one is sleeping in the couch. Okay, so I think in terms of, I'm available, I have a practice and I'm available in Pretoria. There are 2 offices that I'm working at now, one in Hatfield and Montana Hospital. And people can go to my website, www.tsemba.co.za. That's where they can get more information, and they can call 081-537-9669 for more information and for bookings. So I am available, and on that number there is also it does also have WhatsApp, so I'm also accessible on WhatsApp.
And it's really quite rare to find a person of your caliber to be dishing out their numbers like that.
Yes.
And this brings us to that point, the bubble that we wanted to burst in the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Which is an exciting thing, and you invited me to that thing.
Yes.
Now tell the people, what is it about?
Okay, so soon I'll be officially dropping a new video on my YouTube channel called Agani Talks, Inspiration Unleashed. That is where we'll be empowering and educating people. There'll be psychologists on the show. We'll be sharing their experience, expertise. So yeah, I'm excited for it. And the first topic, coincidentally, it coincides with this one. So the first topic that you can look out for, and we'll be featuring TMP as well. So it's going to be epic. So it's spreading psychology like coronavirus.
Okay.
Yeah, so please
Alright,
go to Agani Talks on YouTube. Subscribe so that you don't miss out and you get the video fresh from the pot.
Yes, do that. And yes, what's gonna happen there is interesting. We just spoke about the brief, and already from the brief I'm very excited. I'm one person who gets an idea and I just explode it in my mind. It's gonna be a concoction. A concoction of something that has never been done. He's a man of uniqueness. He's a man with great ideas. What he brings is unique, and the role that he invited me to play in the channel is just a unique role. I think you just need to come and watch it. When it pops, you will see the video. It will be everywhere on our social media networks, platforms, whatever, advertising it. I invite you guys, watch this man, because as you have seen, he has proven to have the skills and capabilities. He's the right man to be tackling issues of psychology. And for the mere fact that he is coming out to the public free of charge to share knowledge. Share knowledge. Share knowledge. Share knowledge about sensitive and very important information such as psychology. Do you know how much a consultation is for psychological matters? But he's sharing that information for free on his channel. And I invite you guys, follow him. You can go right now, subscribe to Agani TV, Agani Talks.
Yes.
He's the man, he's the person will be coming with all the stuff. But this is the TMP, the Miracle Perspective. Thank you guys for coming. Just protect yourself. Take all the necessary measures to protect yourself and your loved ones during this time. Well, they're doing their best to try and find medicines or cures to this coronavirus. But in the meantime, it's very important for you to take care of your own safety, your own loved ones' safety. Just be safe. Don't get coronavirus. Otherwise, sir, thank you for coming. Okay.
Yeah.
It was a great time.
Yes.
Till we meet again, it's finished.
Miracle perspective, perspective. It's finished.